I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of not the performance in the way I boxed and stuff. There was a lot of mistakes made, but I'm proud of the heart I showed, the respect I gave the belt. The British belt brings out a lot in people, and there was a lot of massive fights for that belt before me.
Yeah, well, if it happens, yeah, bring it on.
And just running away from it, so we can run it back. There's no problem.
Tonight, that's for sure. So let Daniel go away and enjoy himself. And as I say,
Despite the loss, Wardley believes the result was not convincing enough, and now the pressure is building on Dubois to step back into the ring for another explosive showdown. And just running away music from it, so we can run it back for sure. For now, that's for sure, so let Daniel go away and enjoy himself. And as I said, there's a rematch clause. Frank Warren has now added even more fuel to the rematch talks by confirming that a rematch clause is already music in place. That statement alone has got fans excited because it means Fabio Wardley still has a real path to run music, things back with Daniel Dubois after their unforgettable heavyweight battle. Well, there is a rematch clause, so we'll see what happens. If they decide to pass it for now. We'll see what pans out in the next few months with all these various heavyweight fights that are happening. And that will determine. Don Charles made it clear that the final decision now depends on whether Team Fabio Wardley decide to activate the rematch clause. He also praised Daniel Dubois for bouncing back after a devastating stoppage defeat. But many fans believe Fabio pushed Dubois to his absolute limits and proved he belongs right at the top of the heavyweight division despite the loss. Anthony Joshua had him a rematch clause when he fought Daniel. That's up to them if they want to exercise it. Like I said, it's too premature. Let's go and digest this win. Let Daniel go and have some rest. Remember, that's him coming off the back of a loss, a stoppage loss. And to pull out that sort of performance, David Adelaide did not hesitate when asked about a possible rematch between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. He wants to see it happen again, and honestly most boxing fans feel exactly the same way. The first fight delivered pure chaos from start to finish, and now people are convinced a second fight could be even bigger once Fabio fully recovers. Buddy McGirt believes the early knockdown completely changed Fabio Wardley's approach in the fight. According to him, Fabio became too focused on landing one big shot instead of sticking to smart boxing. Even then, McGirt still respected Wardley's toughness and heart, admitting that the performance was strong enough to deserve another massive showdown with Daniel Dubois. Hell of a fight. I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round. After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken, you know what I mean. But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a rematch. Fraser Clark admitted the fight may not have been the cleanest technical heavyweight contest ever. But the action and violence inside that ring was unreal. He praised both men for bringing pure entertainment to the fans. Still, many viewers believe Fabio Wardley's aggression and pressure made the fight unforgettable, and that is exactly why the rematch demand keeps growing louder. Derek Chisora completely went after Fabio Wardley's performance and claimed he abandoned the basics during the fight. Chisora felt Fabio relied too much on power shots instead of using his jab and movement. But despite all the criticism, Wardley still pushed Daniel Dubois through one of the toughest fights of his career. And that says everything about Fabio's fighting spirit. Daniel Dubois openly admitted that he had to dig deep mentally during the fight with Fabio Wardley. The heavyweight champion revealed he was forced into a dark place before finding a way back into the contest. That alone shows how dangerous Fabio truly was on fight night, because very few fighters have managed to push Dubois that far physically and mentally. David Adelaide believes Daniel Dubois slowly gained confidence as the fight went on because his jab kept landing on Fabio Wardley. According to Adelaide, every time Fabio loaded up with power, Dubois answered straight back with clean shots that helped him settle into the fight. Even so, Fabio's pressure and aggression never truly disappeared. Wardley kept forcing Dubois into uncomfortable exchanges all night long, and fans could clearly see the damage both men were taking. That is exactly why the demand for a rematch keeps getting bigger after such a brutal heavyweight war. Dominic Ingle gave massive respect to Fabio Wardley after the fight and admitted it was one of the greatest heavyweight battles he has ever watched. Ingle praised Fabio's toughness and refusal to quit even when he looked exhausted and badly hurt. He also acknowledged that Daniel Dubois stayed composed under serious pressure. Music, but the biggest takeaway from many fans was Wardley's heart. Fabio kept finding moments to fight back when most heavyweights would have folded completely. That fearless mentality is now making supporters desperate to see these two giants settle things once again inside the ring. I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights, fair play to Fabio Wardley, what a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit, his corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure, he kept his composure. Music stuck to the plan, he started to get a bit tired himself. He realized that Wardley has still got something in the tank. He kept putting him out of the back, Music he looked dead on his feet. But what a circumflex. David Haye could not stop praising the unbelievable action between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. The former heavyweight champion described it as one of the most entertaining title fights he has ever seen, because both men refused to back down for a single second. Haye loved the bravery and heart shown throughout the contest. But many fans feel Fabio Wardley earned even more respect in defeat, because he kept marching forward despite taking huge punishment. Performances like that are exactly why supporters now believe a rematch could become one of the biggest heavyweight fights in boxing. I've never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining round after round backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. Music, that's what you want to pay. That's what you wanted, we hope, every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship. You're getting that type of energy. They both could give everything they had. I could watch that 10 times. Frank Warren admitted even he did not expect the fight to become this wild and dramatic between Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley. The veteran promoter praised both heavyweights for leaving absolutely everything inside the ring during one of the most chaotic fights of the year. Warren highlighted the momentum swings and the constant danger both men faced throughout the battle. But despite Fabio coming up short, his stock has exploded after this performance. Many people now see Wardley as a genuine elite heavyweight contender, and the calls for a second fight are becoming impossible to ignore. I said it, don't blink, it's going to be the most amazing few rounds. It was much better than that. It was just a phenomenal fight, phenomenal to watch. To witness and see these two guys what they did bare in their soul, and getting off the floor and canvas, and coming back how he did, and it swung both ways the fight. And it was just a Daniel Dubois openly admitted that Fabio Wardley dragged him into one of the toughest fights of his entire career. The heavyweight champion confessed he felt nervous early on and even needed to be woken up mentally in the corner before turning things around. That statement alone shows just how dangerous Fabio was during the contest. Wardley had Dubois under serious pressure and forced him into survival mode at times. Even after the loss, Fabio has gained huge respect across boxing, and many fans now believe he deserves one more shot at Daniel Dubois. What a warrior he is, and came through that test, coming off the back of a loss. I was a bit nervy to start off with and a bit all over the place, but I pulled it together and got the victory. Frank Warren admitted even he did not expect the fight to become this wild and dramatic between Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley. The veteran promoter praised both heavyweights for leaving absolutely everything inside the ring during one of the most chaotic fights of the year. Warren highlighted the momentum swings and the constant danger both men faced throughout the battle. But despite Fabio coming up short, his stock has exploded after this performance. Many people now see Wardley as a genuine elite heavyweight contender, and the calls for a second fight are becoming impossible to ignore. A couple of months in the fight was stopped in round 10 because his nose was bleeding so badly. What's next for him? Are we having a rematch calls? If not, who do you want to see him fight? Nobody wants to see the Daniel Dubois openly admitted that Fabio Wardley dragged him into one of the toughest fights of his entire career. The heavyweight champion confessed he felt nervous early on and even needed to be woken up mentally in the corner before turning things around. That statement alone shows just how dangerous Fabio was during TH.